It's been a great year at Delbarton, and it certainly has been an exceptionally good fourth quarter. And in this fourth quarter review, I'd like to once again highlight some of the key things that made emergence of spring at Delbarton so much fun and such a great experience for our students and staff. This year, in May, we decided to use the time after the seniors had finished their classes to test out a new policy on technology, namely having students not merely turn their phones in at the beginning of class, which we had used this school year, but actually keep their phones in their book bags between 8 o'clock and 2:45. This is something that has been developing as a trend in schools, not just in our area, but across the country. And we wanted to take a few weeks in May to test it out, see what a policy like this would look like, how students would receive it, how we would deal with problems where students were not being cooperative with the policy, and also look for things that we might need to do to adapt it for a full year going forward starting in the fall. And I'm pleased to report that so far we've had overwhelmingly good cooperation from students. Even though students were not terribly happy about it, at least when they would speak as a group, but we did find that individually, when we took our student survey just a few days ago, there were quite a few students who pointed out that they enjoyed the fact that they were engaging, speaking to, and building relationships with their classmates far more easily than they had when they were more or less glued to their phones. We're confident that this policy will benefit our students and make their lives even more fulfilling and their relationships richer by keeping technology in its place during the school day. We also had our first ever Grandparents' Day in early May. This was an idea that we had been kicking around for a while, but we were finally able to pull it off, and it was a resounding success. We had well over 500 people come for this event, some who actually flew up from Florida to be a part of it. Our grandsons were excused from class to be able to come over and celebrate Mass with them in the Abbey Church and then have breakfast with them in the formal garden. It was a spectacular day, and I got all kinds of great compliments on how much grandparents enjoyed being here, many of whom had never been to campus and didn't really know a whole lot about Delbarton other than what they had heard from their own children and grandchildren. And we look forward to making this an annual celebration each year going forward. Alumni Pig Roast, capping off a great year of alumni events and helping to motivate our alumni to participate in Delbarton Together. Delbarton Together is our 2-day celebration of gratitude and giving that we use to be the peak or the summit of the giving year through the Delbarton Fund. And I'm pleased to report that when all the dust settled after 2 days of Delbarton Together, we had about 647 donors giving 779 gifts and raising just over $249,000. So once again, our alumni, current parents, past parents, and even grandparents showed their commitment and loyalty and support for Delbarton by giving on our key giving day. There's still time to give between now and June 30th, but Delbarton Together is one of those peak moments that really shows how deep and wide support is for Delbarton and for our mission. Our Distinguished Educator Award was given to someone that many of you may know personally from having been in class or your sons having been in this class, that being John Thompson, former chair of the History Department and longtime teacher in the History Department. And we could think of no greater candidate, someone no more worthy to receive that award than someone who has been here over 35 years and has touched the lives of literally thousands of students during that time. Fathers and Friends Golf Outing, we had 130 golfers, which was a record number, and the outing raised just over $100,000 to benefit a variety of programs that directly support our students and their activities here at school. And then, of course, graduation, the baccalaureate mass and commencement exercises for the class of 2025. We celebrated both in the church and in the fountain. We saw, once again, the intensity of the relationships, the strength of brotherhood among this class. This is the first class, for example, that I can remember where they waited till everybody got there and circled the fountain as a group and then entered the fountain together. They took the very safe route, but also waited for one another so they could do it together. They've been a remarkable class, and that was just one last indicator of their unity across all the diverse characters that make up the class of 2025. Athletically, we've had a phenomenal spring season. We are Morris County champions this year in baseball, lacrosse, golf, and tennis, which is the largest number of Morris County championships in 1 year in many, many years. Senior Peter Danini won the discus in the non-public A state track and field meet, and he will be moving on to one further meet, the Meet of Champions, later this June. Both varsity and JV golf were undefeated, although varsity golf came in a little bit short, coming in second at the state team tournament to a really strong St. Joseph's Montvale team. But both teams overall had phenomenal seasons building on last year's state championship season for our varsity golfers. And then lastly, our rugby team had a major win over Christian Brothers Academy, which is a significant win for the program. They fell short in the state tournament, but nonetheless had a phenomenal season. So once again, in almost every aspect of school life, we see Delbarton students thriving, faculty and staff doing everything they can to provide our young men with the opportunities that they need to grow and to thrive. And we are particularly grateful for all of you watching this video who in one way or another have provided support, either with time, talent, or treasure, in giving us the tools to give our young men the best possible Delbarton experience. So on behalf of the monks of St. Mary's Abbey, the faculty and staff of Delbarton School, I want to wish you a great summer, and we look forward to sharing with you our first quarter report in the fall of 2025.